Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about consuming information, gullibility, partisanship, and realizing you've made a mistake. So, one of the individuals who was involved in that thing on the 6th at the Capitol, well, he realizes now that he's been deceived. He bought into a pack of lies, quote. And he's asking the judge to go home. He's been in custody since the 9th of January. Now, as far as we can tell, based on the charges, this guy didn't do anything violent, didn't break anything, didn't steal anything. He just went inside. And for whatever reason, he has been in custody since the 9th of January. He wants to go home on house arrest, because he realizes that he is more than likely going to have to do a little bit more time once he is sentenced. Now, to be honest, for me, he didn't hurt anybody. I mean, how long are we going to keep this guy locked up because he was gullible, because he was tricked, because he was duped? If we start locking up conservatives every time they get tricked, we're going to run out of space pretty quickly. And when I say stuff like that, I always get static. I do. Conservatives get mad and they say, we're not gullible. And liberals get mad and they say, don't give them the out of that they just got tricked. They knew what they were doing. But see, I think to a big degree, there is a fundamental issue when it comes to consuming information on the conservative side of the aisle. I do believe that in many ways they are more gullible. And one of the things that I love is when I believe something, I have this preconceived idea, and then the data shows up to back it up. Always makes me happy. That's happened. A study out of Ohio State University of over 1,000 people took place in 2019. So before the massive misinformation campaign related to the 2020 election. And it measured whether conservatives or liberals were better at discerning truth from fiction when it comes to news stories. Who was most likely to fall for misinformation? Surprise, surprise, yes, conservatives. They have a harder time distinguishing fact from fiction in that context. But there's something else at play. I love it when I believe something and then the information shows up to confirm it. So does everybody else. It's called confirmation bias. Everybody enjoys that. The interesting thing is that most of the misinformation that is out there right now on social media is favorable to conservatives. So while, yes, they are more gullible, they are more likely to fall for misinformation, for lies, what I think is more important is those people who they look up to, the conservative leaders, the people who say stuff like facts, not feelings, those who control the conservative movement. They're aware of the fact that they're more gullible, and they're playing on it, because most of the information that was out there was favorable to Republicans. Most of the misinformation. Most of the facts, well, they were favorable to liberals. So the confirmation bias that's at play there would mean liberals would be more likely to believe the truth, and conservatives would be more likely to believe the lie, simply because objective reality has a well-known liberal bias. I know that nobody wants to give these people an out, and for some of them this shouldn't apply, especially those who organized it. But at some point, we're going to have to address the fact that there is a gap when it comes to being able to discern fact from fiction when it comes to news stories. And we're going to have to do something about it. We're going to have to start focusing more on teaching critical thinking and questioning your own beliefs. This culture war nonsense that's going on, it's just pushing people further in to those little divides. And when it comes to the conservative movement, they're going to fall further into those echo chambers, which means they will become more and more susceptible to misinformation. And there will be more and more of them, led to the point where they do something and they end up in a cage. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.